Well, you know, Greg Abbott has said that as soon as it's just a question of time, he's going to get this passed. As soon as these people come back from Washington, he's going to have them all arrested. But if I read the story correctly, he's going to have them all arrested, but instead of taking them all to jail, he's going to have them all taken to the State House, where they're going to be locked up. And so that all these voter suppression bills can then have a quorum and be voted on. Do you really think that he's going to have them arrested?
I don't doubt he would try. I don't know if you remember some years ago, the I think it was Wisconsin legislative walkout that ended with the image of the legislators being arrested and brought back to the Capitol and forced to make quorum so they could take away working people's right to organize, working people's rights to represent themselves in negotiations. That was back in 2011, which ironically, 2011 at the same time, the Indiana legislature had a walkout over the same issue that then turned into the longest running legislative walkout in U.S. history. And I spent 5 of the 6-week walkout with the Democratic House caucus in Urbana, Illinois, where they left Indiana to go and held up for a total of 6 weeks. I was there for the last 5. And for one more year, they were able to stave off the fight against people's ability to represent themselves in negotiations and to protect workers' rights to unionize before eventually it was taken over there. And in Texas, you know, the governor has said, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to, like what happened in Wisconsin a decade ago, I'm going to arrest legislators. Like what happened in Indiana, I'm just going to keep bringing it up until I get my way. But what is different here is that the Texas legislators have gone to Washington because this is a issue of the U.S. Constitution, and our Congress needs to pass protections for our voting rights. And they have taken that fight to Congress. You know, I think they met with Senator Schumer yesterday. They need to be meeting with more members of Congress to make the case that we cannot allow our constitutional rights, our constitutional freedoms, which are founded on the right to vote, to be washed away by these special interest politicians trying to protect their own power from the voters' will. And you know, we all know that this is a fabrication by Governor Abbott and Texas Republicans, right? There's no basis for imposing these ridiculous draconian voting restrictions they want. You know, Texas Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is indicted, I would remind you, has yet to pay out a penny from the voter fund bounty fund he promised, where he would pay a bounty to anybody who could even identify voter fraud, because it's just not there. After more than 22,000 hours of investigation, the Attorney General found 16 instances where voters marked the wrong address by accident out of 11 million votes cast. 16 times out of 11 million votes cast, somebody accidentally checked the wrong address. That is a 0.00014% of any irregularity. There is no voter fraud case that these Republicans there is no problem they're trying to solve by taking away people's rights. This is about trying to protect their own political power against the will of the people.